Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I don't know what happened there. That was the not the intro. That was the outro. Completely screwed that up. I don't know how it happened.
Good night, folks.
That was all.
Oh, I see. Hold on. Okay. I see what happened. Can you guys hear me okay now? This is such a disaster.
No,
yeah,
dude,
can you
it's
hear
great.
me?
That's better.
Absolutely.
So I had the Instagram thing we're trying to link up today on the other screen. It was playing in the background. That's why it was like going crazy on my end. And I actually looped in the outro for the intro. So everybody didn't get to hear my kazoo song. Nobody got to hear it.
We'll just have to exit on that one then.
Yeah,
Very
we'll end
disappointing.
on the intro. That's a good
It's,
idea.
I don't know how
Leave
to
the best
change
for
it.
last.
Anyway, all right, guys. Well, welcome to the Backpackers Blitz. We're going to do it again. This is our third episode. We're going to do kind of the same thing that we did last week. So I'll just kind of briefly explain what we're going to do, and then we'll introduce everybody. So eventually we're going to bring some of you guys into the show. We're going to ask you a bunch of questions. We're all going to ask basically the same question, which we're going to show you here in just a minute. And the idea is just so you have an idea of what you're getting into as we draw you out of the chat and into the live stream with us. We're also going to do a drawing from last week's show or last week's contest. We're going to pull those names up here. We're going to draw those winners. And I still have to email everybody from last week. I just realized I never did that. So, and Chad, I have to get your discount codes as well. So I am Ben from Hilltop Packs. We also have Chad from UGQ, Tim from Hilltop Packs, and we got a new guy, our favorite Canadian, Mr. Devin. I'm going to let Tim talk to Devin here for a second. Here, you guys, go right ahead and introduce yourselves.
Well, hello, everybody. It looks like we're probably still early by most people's standards, but we're early for once, and none of us danced off stage like that gal in the 90s on Saturday Night Live. Was that a Simpson? That was a Simpson, wasn't it? Ashley Simpson.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I was still a baby.
I wasn't born.
There's got to be some people our age out there, Ben. They'll get the joke. At any rate, thanks for joining us tonight. Again, our favorite neighbor to the north. Caught him right in the middle of what appears to be a lovely permanent, as we used to call them. Devin, welcome. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Like you said, I was in the middle of a perm, just getting my hair all fixed up for the show. So I was obviously running late. But so far so good. It's been a good day. I'm glad to be here.
So can we expect that to be dried and shown off before the end of the episode, or is this going to be something you'll show off next week?
It's not going to be ready. I might have to throw a hat on after this because of I don't want everyone to get too excited. So
I think you definitely have to pull them out before the show's over. We got to see what
I can do that.
Yeah, towards the end. That's gonna be the big cliffhanger. So stick around for
It'll
the
look
end.
like that hat he was wearing last week.
Yeah.
We now have a cliffhanger.
There we go. So yeah,
well,
Devin, go ahead.
If you're just joining us, thanks for joining us. We're going to kind of stick with the format of last week, which I thought was a blast. I think everybody here agrees. It's fun talking.
I had a lot
about
of fun.
guests.
Yeah, we may tweak that moving forward, but I really liked it. In fact, we'll go ahead and start now. And we all have one of our main questions. We may tweak it and change it throughout the show, but the idea is to give you guys the same 4 questions, and we're all going to ask and bring you guys in throughout the show. So I'm going to ask Tim my first question, then maybe Tim can ask Devin, and Devin can ask Chad his question. So we're going to go around the show here. So Tim, my question is, where was the last place you pitched your tent or hung your hammock, and which one was it?
Well, I've been a tenter all season, and by that I mean since October. So I pitched my tent, which is the Dan Durston, in the Chisos Mountains at Big Bend National Park. It's pretty cool out here. They have like 42 established campsites in those mountains alone. So a lot of really neat ones. So yeah, Big Bend National Park.
How long ago was that?
It was actually 3 weeks ago. We're in the spring. It gets super windy here, and it is just like it's a sandstorm on the daily. So it's been a rough few weeks.
Very cool. I'm gonna let you ask Devin a question. Your question.
So Devin, you know that our type is probably a small percentage of the world. When you go out into the backcountry, which I know you do frequently, what are some of the concerns or like things that people don't understand about what you're doing?
It usually has to do with the cold, to be honest with you. Whenever I go out camping in like the wintertime, people are like, why would you ever want to do something that's not inside in the wintertime? So, and that's just honestly the reason being is it's fun to challenge yourself a little bit. And plus you get bragging rights of, hey, I got down to minus stupid. So that's about it.
So follow-up question quick. What I think we can all admit certain things that we really, for lack of better terms, get off on. What is it that makes you feel like tough out there? What is it, the cold too, or what's your special skill in the wilderness?
Ooh. That's a good question. Either the cold or distance traveled is always a good one. I'm not very fast, but I'm incredibly stubborn, so usually I go for that. That's
Distance.
about that distance, yeah. Although it kind of ranges when you're going up mountains, to be honest with you, because up a mountain is a lot slower than just on flat ground.
I have a follow-up question. So does the cold affect like your perm? How does it hold?
I just spray a little bit of water in it and walk outside, and it holds it perfectly as long as I don't, exercise too quickly. Then it melts.
There you go. Good deal. Well, here, guys, I'm going to post a link in the chat. If you guys want to join us here in a few minutes, well, I'll pull on you and we'll put it in the chat here. I'm going to post a link. All you can do is click on it, turn your camera on your phone, whatever works just fine. So I'm going to do that as Devin is asking Chad his question.
Chad, okay. So what piece of gear in your backpack, because we all know you're a big backpacker, or in your vehicle whenever you're out overlanding, what would you say is like the most important or something that you couldn't live without?
Honestly, I'm a big flashlight guy. I really, really don't like being outside or anywhere for that matter without having my flashlight and or the 3-letter word that starts with a G and ends with an N that I can't say on YouTube. I also don't go anywhere without it when I'm out in the wilderness on my long backpacking trips.
Fair enough. Now, follow-up question to that: do you have like a specific flashlight that's your favorite?
I do.
And which one would that be?
Oh,
Stupid, right?
it is my night core. That's all I know about it. I know
Nice.
it's works good at night and it has really strong core, and it's pretty bright. So
You drug out that answer quite long enough. Okay, Chad, you get to ask anybody your question that you want.
I'm gonna ask Tim because I think he's got more experience than all of us. What is the sketchiest situation you've ever been in while backpacking? Is he frozen? I can't tell. Oh, he's there. Okay.
Am I here?
You're here.
You're there.
We're live.
It was the long, awkward silence that really caught me off guard.
Well, that's a tough one. Do you want wildlife or
I don't know.
other?
You tell me. It's your answer.
I don't.
What's the sketchiest situation? It could be a mountain lion encounter. It could be meeting two-holer. It could be, there's all kinds of things that could happen out there.
Well, my friend, we'll go with wildlife this summer. My friend Mike and I were hiking in western South Dakota in the Black Hills, and we came across some bison. Well, there it is. This is the story, Mikey. Hi, Mike. Squirrel. Anyway, so we come across a bison, two bison on this small bridge, and we try to go a long ways away from them, and we come across another stream crossing where we can cross safely. And we look down, and about probably 20 feet from us is another bison, bull bison, just sitting there in the creek bed. We backed off. At this point, we're kind of in a gully, so to speak. So we didn't really have many options on where to go. So we just kind of ducked back in this meadow, and this bison started charging us, literally. I look up, I shit you not, excuse my French. Mike was 75 yards running, head start on me already.
Nice.
And I just kind of froze in fear, and he turned on a dime out of nowhere. I don't know. Mike comment below. He says I'm really bad at depth perception. I don't want to seem like an exaggerator, but maybe 20 yards short of me, and just took a hard right turn and took off the other direction. That's probably the only time I ever felt like I had to run from an animal.
Good story.
Nice.
So, guys, we do have our first guest we're going to bring in. Okay. And if you guys remember, we gave him a new nickname last week, Goat's Milk.
Goat's milk. There he is.
There's old Goat's Milk. That's the name from now on forever. How's it going,
keeps
buddy?
on giving.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask you my first question and get started here. So, where was the last place you pitched your tent or hung your hammock, and how long ago was it?
It would have been let's see, a couple months ago before the winter started in my front yard, a new tent that I'm planning on using for my next trip, and I still don't know how to set it up.
So, which tent was it?
It's the dipole one-person double wall by Tarp Tent.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
So I use a Durson X Mid 2, but it's huge, and there's some places we're going to be at that I'm not sure that I can fit it into the places I need to.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of real estate. I have the same tent. I have the Pro version because I'm fancy like that, and it definitely takes up a little more real estate. So, Chad, I'll pass it over to you to ask a few questions. Go ahead.
Okay, so my original question that Ben kind of stole in his question.
Sure.
So I'm gonna ask two. First is, what's your go-to hammock or tent? And second, what was the sketchiest situation you've ever been in while backpacking?
So my go-to is tent. I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me that, but one, I don't sleep that well in hammocks, and two, up here I'm oftentimes camping in places that don't have any trees to set said hammock up. So I tend to default to tents. And probably the most sketchiest thing that I've been on, I can say that I got evacuated from Smoky Mountain National Park with heat exhaustion, coming down into Lake Fantana. And yeah, the most embarrassing part of it is I was a paramedic at the time.
So walk us through what I want to hear more about that. So how far into the trip, what brought that on? I don't mean to hijack your question, Chad.
So
It's fine. I'm used to it.
We were 2 days in, I think 2 or 3 days in, and there is a series of unfortunate events. You know, we started out higher up. There was a storm that night that also almost dropped trees down on us, that was real fun. I remember sitting in the tent just laughing with his nervous laughter. But it was really cool in the morning, and our weather forecast said it was only supposed to get up into like the upper 70s, lower 80s. And by the time we made it down to the lake, the rangers later told us that it was 98 degrees with 100% humidity.
Oh man.
And we were going to camp by the lake, but we got in really early. So in our infinite wisdom, we decided we were going to push on to the next campsite, which was over another ridge. And it was basically a vertical climb up. And, you know, we made it like 3/4 of the way up, and we're like running out of water and stuff. It was like, okay, this is dumb. So we turned around and went back down. And I soaked in the river while I was getting water to cool down for a little bit. But apparently it wasn't enough, because while I was setting up my tent, which is the last thing I remember, I then told by my hiking buddy that he tried to talk to me, and I just mumbled to myself incessantly and wasn't making any sense. And he managed to get a phone call out to some friends of ours, and they called the ranger district. And the next thing I remember was sitting at the edge of the lake waiting for the rangers to come pick us up in a boat. So it was a solid 2 hours. I still don't remember.
Wow.
Yeah, they picked us up and drove us out to the dam. And I remember asking, I said, "So I feel better now. Can I go back in?" And he's like, "Hell no."
Oh jeez.
So yeah, I didn't tell them.
That's crazy.
Wow. All right. Well, actually, I'm gonna let Devin ask his question now. So, Goat's Milk, I appreciate you jumping on here, but Devin, up to you.
Yeah, first of all, that's crazy. Your brain getting fried, basically. Yeah, it makes me.
It explains a lot to this day.
Okay, my question: what piece of gear in your backpack can you not live without? What is your favorite piece of gear?
Oh man, do I have to say something Hilltop Packs?
No.
There is a discount if you do. Yes.
Discount.
Anything, it doesn't matter.
You know, honestly, I hate to say it, but it's probably my Sea to Summit Eros pillow.
Nice.
Is that an inflatable pillow?
It is, yeah.
I just
Is
can't do
that the
inflatable
premium
pillow.
one?
What's that?
Is that the premium one with the nice like fabric
It
on the
is.
outside?
I had the lightweight one and it sucked. But they came out with a new version of it with a new coating on it that's a lot better. Although a hack is that if you go with a lighter one, use a buff as a pillowcase. It makes it a lot more comfortable.
I'm such a baby. I can't do
I
the
love them.
inflatable thing.
I just like half inflate mine, and it kind of cradles your head perfectly, and it's nice.
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay, Tim, I think it's your question, right? You have a question loaded up?
I do have a question loaded up, a few, but I'll make it quick. First of all, hey, Goat's Milk, what up? So,
You'll forever be Goat's
would
Milk.
you ever want to shorten that to just kind of like Prince?
Only for you, buddy.
Let's just morph it
Isn't
every
that
week.
shorter? That's definitely more syllables.
But funnier.
My question, my friend, is so when you go out and maybe you just told the story of what they're most paranoid of, but what do your friends and loved ones get most sketched out about or wonder why you do these things?
I think most of my family know that I have a healthy dose of insanity after running into burning buildings and working with venomous snakes throughout various periods.
At the same time?
Those were
Saving poisonous snakes from fires.
It's like Pee Wee Herman.
Each job. God, I don't know. It's hard to narrow it down. Like I said, I have general anxiety going into most trips anyways that stays with me until I hit the trail and then I'm fine. I would say my family, it's probably has to do with the fact that I do it in grizzly country. Even though I've only ever seen one grizzly bear in the wild in my life. I don't know. I get mostly sketched out with things like really dangerous water crossings. For some reason, those sketch me out. I'm also afraid of heights. So like I can get vertigo on some of the mountain passes we have. So pushing through those. But for me, probably just forgetting something that's important, like my glasses or some stupid thing like that.
Good deal. Well, Mr. Goat's Milk, we appreciate you jumping on here. I'm going to kick you out. Definitely come back next week. We'll keep getting you in there. You're always
All
like
right.
early in. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
So all right, buddy. Talk to you soon, man.
See you, buddy.
All right. So we're going to bring in another guy. I believe he's also Canadian. So Devin, I'll probably let you go ahead and talk to him first. I'll let you ask.
I speak his native tongue. Yeah.
Yeah, you can introduce him, or ask him who he is, where he's from, and then you can ask your first question. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, there we go. Mr. Joe Robinette, how's it going, buddy? I know that I can speak your language, so let me translate here. You're also muted, Joe. Also, big fan, by the way. Joe Robinette, ladies and gentlemen. This man is, first of all, he's a hoot.
Well.
You need to watch all his videos because he's just a fun guy to watch. And he's also incredibly good at surviving in the woods. He'd survive a lot longer than I would. From Northern Ontario, this side, Joe Robinette. I think it's on this side.
Oh, thanks there, Hosehead. What's that all about?
Mind my curlers there. I'm just trying to get my hair ready here for the stream, and it started a little early.
I have to ask Devin a quick question. So if you knew Joe was going to be here, would you have dressed differently?
Honestly, quite possibly.
No.
But I'm a bit of a whack job at heart, so I can't.
Well, you got to thank Chad for this connection. I've never met Joe. I've watched some of his videos. It always makes me feel like less of a man when I do watch the videos. So I thought there's no way this guy's going to join our channel for 20 people. Like he must be really getting desperate here for viewers. But we certainly appreciate it, buddy.
No, I'm happy to be here, man. Thank you.
If anybody hasn't watched any of his videos, definitely check out some more recent ones. I know you had a motorcycle accident there. I just got caught up on that today myself. I didn't know that. I watched a few videos, and the one you just posted yesterday, I watched it today as well. The trailer was pretty cool. So even if you don't know anything about this guy, watch the trailer. And it was a pretty moving trailer. So Devin, carry on.
Well, I'm actually going to change my my question here, just specifically because it's Joe. And Joe, you've been working on something, haven't you? What is it you've been working on?
I got into a big dirt bike accident in last May, and it changed my life completely. And I thought my career, my passion, everything was over, and was really struggling with that for a long time. as I was healing still too, right? Like I've been out of commission for a long time, and this production company approached me, and I had actually met the dude before on a canoe trip in the middle of nowhere. It was crazy. We met like 10 years ago and just exchanged pleasantries. And from that, remembered me and remembered my story, or remember me and wanted to tell my story rather. And in those 10 years, he had become a huge dude, like a huge person in the industry. They did that production company did that American Gladiators show on Netflix last year.
Mhm.
And they also do Schitt's Creek. They do Schitt's Creek, bud.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, right. But so anyways, it's legit. They came, they did that, and then we shot a little trailer for it, and we put it out yesterday, and it's going really well. Lots of positive feedback. I didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? It was my first video back in months, and like we're doing this Indiegogo thing, but I basically not asking for money, but telling people like we're raising money for this type of thing. So I was expecting a lot of like, you know what I mean? Sure, Joe, come back and ask for money type comments, but I didn't even get any of that, which is crazy. So very, very good feedback, and that's what we're doing. So the next step in that is we're going to leave ice out, which for us in Northern Ontario, we're looking May 15th ish, and we're going to go fly into a spot, do a canoe trip. It'll be my first solo canoe trip. I did a canoe trip once I got back, but I had the help with it. I couldn't use my hand properly. I'm doing everything by myself with my dog. Film crew's there, but they're not touching nothing. And then I'm going to build a shelter and live out of that, off the land for a few nights. So we're going to document the whole thing, and they're pitching it as like a free solo style documentary with that guy Alex Honnold. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Hey, hey, Joe. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm here too. So
I don't know who that guy is.
How about we'll move on from Devin. Chad, why don't you guys talk about you and Joe, how you guys actually met? I'm changing my question too. How'd you guys actually meet?
Joe was actually really desperate for some attention, so he got a hold of me and was actually the first time we met was your first time winter hammock camping.
Yeah. Yep.
And
in Northern Michigan.
Yep, and we did a trip with Dan Becker.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that, but no. So we that was our first trip together, and then we've talked a ton over the years, and have become what I call best friends. I don't know if he classifies that.
We're besties.
And you're doing a really big thing in April also. Like you're getting put on this like huge podcast, and you got this whole big thing, one night trip going.
Oh, that's 90s on the big one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come down. Yeah, probably early April. We'll do a little backpacking thing at Michigan, Lower Michigan, and I'll come do the podcast. And maybe I can shoot a little video about the quilt production.
Yeah, that would be good.
Do you guys do that? Quilt? Do you guys make quilts? You guys do that?
We actually import all of our stuff. We like to make things. We like to make things as difficult as we can on ourselves and our customers, and so yeah, we try to really screw everything up all the time. That's what we're known for. So.
Well, Chad, I'm going to come back to you because we're not done with Joe just yet. But I'm going to let Tim ask a question. So, Joe, I don't know if you know Tim or not. Tim is our gear pro. So if you have any questions about the outdoors, he's probably the professional you might want to ask. He's our gear pro.
Joe, if you have a single question for me, I need somebody to come here and directly kick me in the balls.
No, I do. Definitely.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Joe. And
thank you.
I just got to say, man, I watched your trailer today. And more importantly, other than the stellar production of it, I'm just going to kiss Joe's ass here for a minute, fellas. Okay?
Good. We all go for
it. We all understand.
No, for real. What you exude in like a few short minutes is this like sincere, like genuine soul, and I really identified with that. I haven't really had the accidents that you've had in terms of physical, but I've had some ups and downs in my life, and I don't get to. I'm kind of a grizzled old ass man, and I don't get inspired real often, but I got to tell you, that was 6 minutes of pretty special YouTube inspiration. So I want to hear a little bit about it. I don't want to keep you on the horn too long, and I'm sorry you're so bored as to have to come do this tonight. Chad must
Well,
he must be
no,
making
paying
one
him.
hell of a custom quilt, man. Thanks, Chad.
It's for his
Thanks for
dog
getting him
again.
on, dude. But yeah,
listen, no, that was very nice of you to say, man. And thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate that. My kid is standing above me, trying to throw popcorn into my mouth as I'm talking to you guys.
Oh, bring him on. Let him come say hi.
we can roll with that. It's very informal, man. But yeah, so it's called Nerve, right?
Okay. So yes, no, sorry. I do have a question for you first off, and then I will go to that.
Okay.
I'm doing a huge canoe trip this July, 50-day solo. Weight is a huge deal. I always treat my canoe trips like a backpacking trip because I'm such a small dude. I can only carry about 30 pounds. Okay. So I have a Durston X Mid 2 Pro Plus, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And I have a dog. Sorry, I'm gonna bring my dog, my husky. I love that tent, but I'm worried that there's going to be places that a freestanding tent is going to excel. And did I cut off? Oh, sorry. Did I?
No,
cut
you're
out?
good. I hear you, man.
And but I need it to be sub 2 pounds.
Right on. Devin and I right now have butterflies in our stomach. We're like, what are we doing being asked questions, man? Man, I don't know. Sub 2 pounds. I mean, how often do you think you're going to be in freestanding zone? Like half the time, more than half the time?
Yeah. Or more,
Did you want a
more than half-
recommendation
more
for
than
one?
half
Is
the
that what you're
time.
looking
I
for?
could be. No, sorry. I could. No, no. Sorry. Say it again.
Were you looking for a recommendation on a freestanding one?
Yeah, no, on a freestanding one. Yes, exactly. I need a recommendation on a lightweight freestanding tent. Yes.
I have the tarp tent double rainbow LI. That one's also made out of Dyneema. That one's super light, and it can be set up as mostly freestanding if you use trekking poles to kind of space it out. But if you're canoeing, you could use either one of your paddles or something, or to make it stand up straight. You could probably
Joe, I'll make
generate something.
I'll make you something.
Chad makes everything.
Yeah, man. I don't know either. I think if you go on the upper end on Big Agnes, you might find something, but their real light ones are semi freestanding. The new Durston 1.5 or whatever, the freestanding one, but that's about 3 pounds, I think.
I think
hammock
it
guy,
is.
man, but
I think Z-Packs
not that light.
white.
Oh, does Z-Packs have a freestanding tent?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
they
there's
do with the poles. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
there's
don't they have a mod kit?
Yeah.
I think there's a sub 1 pound.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you can buy
For the
poles.
kit?
Two person, do you think?
That's
Or
crazy.
one plus?
I have an older Plexamid from Z-Packs, and I bought just the pole that goes with it. So if I ever do any trips without trekking poles, like if I'm on my mountain bike, I can take that and just that one pole. They don't make the Plexamid anymore, but they have some other tents like that where you can still just buy the pole. And I'm pretty sure even with the Durston, you can buy the poles there too. But I'm not sure what you're going for.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
More
ideally, if you
importantly
don't
than
want
all of that-
stakes, man, I'd go with the
importantly than all
Durston
of
probably,
that,
but you're going to
Joe-
be looking at 3 pounds.
What quilt are you using on this trip? Nobody cares about the tents.
I saw some deals on Amazon.
There's a sweet store in Canada, Canadian Tire. They sell more than just tires. Really quality stuff by this brand called Woods.
My mother-in-law is fascinated with Canadian Tire, and whenever they visit, they're from the States, and they're like, we need to go to Canadian Tire just purely because of it's Canadian Tire.
I had a buddy in Missouri when I was learning all my bushcraft stuff or whatever online, and he'd be like, "You get that at the tire store?" Okay. So Big Agnes Fly Creek UL1 has been my go-to brand, like normal brand name tent for years and years and years. I just hate the entrance. You know what I mean? The single climbing into. But anyways, okay. Good ideas.
Yeah.
Good ideas.
Looking at the comments, the Durston freestanding seems to be coming up a few times.
Okay.
And the nice thing about that, I would say, is the getting in and out of that thing. Those doors are huge.
Yeah.
Magnets are sweet. They're going to work in cold weather.
Durston's
Yeah.
Canadian. I mean,
I have three. I have 3 Durstons, man. They're amazing tents.
Nice.
It's just I need a lightweight freestanding. You know what I'm saying?
Aren't you
Well-
supposed to be out there like whittling a shelter together?
That's
Practicing.
old news. That's old news.
Have UGQ make you a tarp, and then you're fine. You know.
Yeah. I have a bunch, man. UGQ tarps are pretty badass. I have a few of them, man. Like I love the ones that close in on the sides. I don't what are they called? I don't know. Some kind of sheltery thing.
All right, so I got another question for you. So I know we're talking about tents, but just to kind of move it along. So the videos I watched today showed, the first one I watched showed your hand wasn't really working all that great. So where do you stand now with that?
I am doing very well. So this is my normal hand, and this is my bad hand. It's pretty good. It's way
Not
better
bad,
than
man.
it was. Hey, Puck, look at this thing.
Can you look at Chad and do this? And I don't.
Look at this thing.
Oh,
Hey,
Yeah. Go on. Yeah, no, my finger was stuck erect like this even after the accident. I couldn't bend it for the life of me or my thumb, and now I can't up like, you know what I mean? I have dexterity.
very cool.
I don't have my strength. You know what I'm saying? It's only, I want to say maybe 40% of the strength that this hand has, and that sucks because I don't know how much will come back because I've been working at it. But even with the less amount of strength in that one hand, I can still do everything I need to do. You know what I mean? It's fine. It's never going to hold me back from anything ever again. And I'm just going to, like, I stopped everything. I stopped all the pills I was taking, everything, trying to mask the pain and everything. I'm just going to deal with it. And like the pain, don't get me wrong, the pain is there, but it's a pain that I know is going to subdue when I warm it up and I can like massage it out and stuff. And I'm used to it now, so it's not so bad anymore. But like nerve pain is something different, guys. Like if you don't know about it, it's wild.
I remember. So I remember when you texted me. It had been like a month since we had talked, and you had texted me, and all it said was 3 weeks in a coma. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
so then I'm pretty sure I called you immediately.
One of the videos
What were
you
you gonna
posted,
say,
I had watched. You were like, you had mentioned that if anybody had tried to reach out to me, you know, you're almost apologetic. You're like, I was in a coma. You were like, you're almost saying, I'm sorry, I didn't respond. You were like, really, I can tell you felt bad about it. But like, dude, you were just in a coma. That's what you're worried about?
Well, yeah, and that's why I made a video right then and stuff too, because I didn't feel like I could take any time off, or I took too much time off already. And I came back. I should have not ever made a video. Like I had to tell people what was going on. You know what I mean? And that's how I've treated my channel my whole go. But I needed this last break big time, and I should have taken that before. But it is what it is. I learned my lesson.
Good deal. Chad, want to throw an extra question before we bring another guest?
Well,
And Joe,
sorry, Tim, I never answered Tim's question. I'm sorry, Tim. What did you say again, man?
Oh, Tim, you
I
got
don't
to ask him
know.
a question.
I think we answered the question.
Oh,
I just want
okay.
to double back though, Joe. Erect is one of the 14 words we don't say.
I heard a little schoolboy giggle when I said it.
Yeah, I don't want to nitpick or anything, but I like to keep it straight. Ben was pretty clear on this.
Yeah, I think we all kind of giggled a little
We're
bit.
not going to sweat it, man. We'll welcome you back at any point in time.
Appreciate it.
You
Well,
bet,
they're
bud.
Canadian.
No,
They
I'm
said
real
erect.
happy for you. I'm going to let Chad out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
We can't
lost
hear you,
him.
Tim. He's still
Show
moving
his
at
lip.
least.
Oh wait, we can't see his lips either.
Tim, your audio cut out, buddy.
Those cheap Amazon mics.
That's okay. We'll let Tim try to figure that. Chad, why don't you ask one more question? Then Joe, we'll probably leave you in here as we bring in the next guest. You can kind of hang out as long as you want.
Sure.
Yeah, if you want, Joe. Don't
Yeah,
feel
no,
like you
I'm
have
good.
to,
I'm good.
but you're definitely staying even if you don't want to.
No, I'm good for
This is
another
the
little while.
hostage situation.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get them done.
It's called Canadian privilege.
Exactly. Are you in your basement right now?
Yeah, I am.
Samesies. So I do have a question for you. So my actual official question, real quick, is supposed to be, what was the sketchiest thing you've ever experienced while out backpacking or out
Before
in
you
the
answer
bush?
that, I brought him
bush
before you answer the
cracking.
question. I apologize. I brought in my buddy Troy. So Troy, we can see it just so you don't start picking your nose or something. All right. So carry on, Joe. Go ahead.
Well, I'll answer that on my canoe trips are the exact same as your backpacking trips. You know what I mean? I just live in Canada where there's so many lakes around. It's just
Yep.
it's culture here. It is what it is. But I treat it very, very similar to backpacking. I really take a lot of things from the backpacking community into that. Bailey, stop it,
Bro.
Sorry.
You take like an entire canoe full of stuff.
No, I take an entire canoe full of meat and dog.
Worth of gear.
My
It's
backpack
an ultralight canoe, though. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. It weighs like
That's true.
25 pounds.
Is that one of the Swift ones you use?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are stupid light.
Yeah, they
For a
really
canoe.
are. Like you could literally walk down the trail with it in your hand like this.
wild.
So
we've seen you do it.
Yeah, I was up north in northern Ontario, even far, like a 12-hour drive north of me, and then flown into the middle of nowhere to a place that has lots and lots of forest fires. It's just a part of the ecosystem there. It's a fire-driven forest. The cones, the pine cones, are serotinous. They don't open until there's heat, and that's how they regenerate, right? So it's like a thing. We got dropped off. Me and my buddy Kyle lives in California. Good guy, friends forever. And we did we were supposed to do like a 10-day trip. We were day 8. We were sick of each other, as sometimes we get, and we were done. We were like, okay, we did 8 days. Let's call it. We had our sat phone. We like call the outfitter. We're like, all right, we're done. Can you come get us? We're here. And he goes, well, we can't. There's a huge fire in the area. Planes aren't flying. Blah 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 blah. And it was like that for an extra 2 or 3 days. We were getting choked out by smoke. We could see it all coming in like crazy. The sky was getting dark. It's all we could taste, all we could smell. And he's from California, so he was a little bit calmer about it. You know, he's dealt with it and stuff. Me, I've never ever experienced it. So I was tripping out pretty hard. Like I got girls to come home to, you know what I mean? So finally, after and being on edge, waiting for this is why I'll never get a plane out again. I'm always gonna get out on my own accord. I'll plane in, but I'm paddling out. You're waiting. You don't know. You're waiting. You're just waiting for the call that the plane's gonna be there, and it's gonna be there in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? You can't have a camp set up. The plane gets there, you need to have it ready to go because the plane can't hang out, especially if there's waves. You have to be out in the middle of the lake. He picks you up. You paddle out to him even. So we're just, like sitting, twiddling our thumbs, bags packed every day until nighttime where we set up our tent and do the whole spiel. And we're just pissed. You know what I mean? Everything's run out. All the fun stuff is run out. Our food's run out. And we're starting to catch fish to eat it and everything. Finally, we caught some fish. We're cooking it up. And all of a sudden, without even a call on the phone, we hear this plane coming in to pick us up. We're like, we know it's coming in for us because we're right here and it's very close. We're like, oh, sweet. Grab your stuff. Grabbing our stuff, packing it all up, throw the fish, and then just like out of a movie, I saw that, good job. Just like out of a movie, the black cloud comes in on this side, a black as night cloud, right? And all of a sudden you see the plane bank and take off and leave us. And I have it all on video, and I'm just like, no.
I think I've seen this.
Yeah. I'm literally screaming at the sky. What is the meaning of this? Like angry at God. Like what is you know what I mean? And we were there for another little while. Whatever. Ends up coming and getting us. And we got out in a pretty hectic flight. But that was right up there, if not the craziest thing that's happened to me.
Wow.
Nice.
My story sounds stupid now.
Yep, don't even bother.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought I remembered watching that. So yeah, okay. If that was in a video, then definitely remember
This
that.
This is Jerome Rubinubi after all. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I do. I remember. Yeah. All right,
Inside
boys. Well,
everybody else, you don't know.
I'm gonna dip out here. My daughter's trying to get my attention like crazy, but it was a good time. Thank you,
Joe. We appreciate it, buddy. Thank you
Nice
very
meeting you,
much.
Joe.
man.
Thanks, Joe.
Talk to you soon, buddy.
Thanks a lot,
Keep your
guys.
stick on the ice.
Yeah, yes, sir. Elbows up.
Troy, what's happening, buddy? Your
You're
mic,
muted,
turn your
buddy.
mic on.
I got it.
Oh, there we go.
Got it.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay, so Troy, do you know who that was?
I don't.
Okay, I'll let Chad kind of clue you in. Go ahead, Chad.
So Joe Robinette is at one point he had the largest bushcraft channel on YouTube. So I think he's sitting at like 1.55 million subscribers on YouTube right now. So he's a big deal. That's what we're getting at.
He's been around for a long time too. He's been, when I got
so
it,
he's
like,
been on several TV shows and he's getting ready to film a new documentary. And so he's a good buddy of mine and he joined us, which was pretty cool. So
Nice. Yeah.
So before we get to Troy, Devin, how long did it take you to figure out who he was?
I saw Joe, and I was thinking Joe Wilderness or Jamie Secord on Instagram, and then Joe actually popped up, and I'm like, that was not what I was expecting. So, man, he's
That was
all
a
kinda-
surprise just
such
for
a
you,
nice
Devin.
guy. Thank you. He's a Canadian
So-
hero of mine.
Yeah, well,
So,
me and Tim had
yep.
kind of a heads up that this was a possibility, but neither one of us had any faith in Chad that could actually pull it off.
Wow.
So we were all pretty surprised.
Well, now you know. Now you know.
That was impressive. That was
I'll
pretty
never
cool.
doubt you again, Chad. I'm sorry.
Hey, am I
Troy.
back, fellas? Am I back?
You
You
are
are back.
indeed.
Yay.
There's this little button on the microphone. It just has like almost
Ah.
like a fart emblem that turns off the audio. Must be like the fart
button.
button. Fart
It's not
pause.
a fart button, it's a mute button. My fart button's right here. Fart,
Yeah.
fart. Okay. Anyway, so Troy, welcome back. I'm going to ask you my question, and then I'll pass you over to someone else. So real quick, Troy is as a hiking buddy of mine. He's a local business person that I'm friends with here, so we see each other and talk all the time. But so I probably know the answer to this. But where was the last place you pitched your tent or hung your hammock? And which one was it?
It was a tent. The Ben McMillan special. I had to borrow it because I needed to get lightweight. So he lended it to me, and the last place was where was that? Roaring Plains.
Roaring Plains, West
Roaring
Virginia. And you actually
Plains, West
slept in the
Virginia.
Durston tent, didn't you?
I don't know. Is
It
that
had two trekking poles. Yeah, I used
Yeah,
I used
yeah,
a
yeah,
back
yeah.
then. You used the
Yeah.
Durston one, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Well, that was my question. So that was a fun trip. That was pretty memorable.
Yeah.
Tim, I'll let you go next, buddy.
How we doing tonight, sir?
Oh, doing great. Doing great.
Let's hop right to the question. So I don't know how often you get out, but your loved ones, friends, when you tell them stories about your backpacking or outdoor adventures, what freaks them out the most?
I can tell you what it was.
Go ahead. I'm drawing a blank. That might be a
So
good story.
The weeks leading up to the last trip we did together, and I don't think Troy's done a trip like that in a little while. His family, especially his daughter, was like worried about him.
Yeah.
She was feeding me all kind of stuff, making up all these diseases he has, telling me that he has this, he has that. I gotta be very, and I believed her. She was naming all these things. I was like, should we take this guy? He's a risk of he's a pretty heavy guy. I don't know if I can carry him back out of here if he dies on me. But so he turns out he was totally fine. We get out there, and I'm like, I kept checking on him, like, how you doing? You doing okay? And I was like, like a few miles in, I'm like, your daughter was really worried about you. She's like, about what? And so I told him, he's like, I don't have any of that stuff.
Well, they really worry. Yeah, they do. And they leading up to this, they wanted me to get in shape, and they said, you should probably put your pack on and start walking around with it, and you think you can walk 16 miles? I'm like, yeah, heck yeah, I can. I'm in pretty good shape. I'm not I don't have a walker or nothing, so I'm good. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. We paced ourselves, and it was good. Yeah.
Good deal. Who wants to ask the next question? Chad does, right?
Oh, sure. I'm actually gonna shake it up a little bit. Hey, Troy, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Chad?
I need to come see you soon. Real soon.
Yeah. We got a new sandwich too, man.
Ooh.
Oh, all right. I'll be there on Friday.
Okay.
So my question is, would you rather hike or backpack or camp, whatever suits you, in extreme cold or extreme heat, and you cannot have a fire?
Oh, extreme. That's pretty
Extreme.
95-degree
extreme heat or minus 35-degree Fahrenheit extreme cold.
and no heat, no fire. Man, you can always put more clothes on, and
Assuming you have them.
Well, geez, that changes the game a little bit.
Extreme.
I guess I'll drink a lot of water. I'll go with the heat.
Wrong answer. Next.
Okay. All right. I'll go with extreme cold. No problem.
All right, Devin.
We'll take
you're up,
backs,
buddy.
please.
Devin's up.
Okay, I kind of
Hey,
have two questions here. What is the best rub for a brisket?
Ooh.
What would your favorite rub for a brisket be?
Well,
That's proprietary. He can't say.
It's a meat question.
It is kind of, but
Ah.
salt, pepper, garlic, man. That's
Yeah.
That's the basic. That's the basic. A lot of people use that. I have a couple more things that I put in there. Some chili powder, a little bit of cayenne pepper. So I think the salt, pepper, garlic plus those other two things, that makes the brisket rub.
All right. So
Well, that sounds delicious.
delicious. We're actually watching Corey now.
Did you just not know, Corey? Surprise.
So Corey, turn your microphone on. You have to ask Troy a question. You know how this works. Ask Troy a question.
Oh man, I wasn't ready to ask questions. I was just enjoying the banter on there. It's making me hungry thinking about that rub though.
Yeah.
And yeah, give me a heads up next time. I'm just working. Who am I asking a question to?
So Troy, the guy here in the middle, I believe.
Okay.
In your
Okay. Yeah. Crap. Should it be food related or camping related? 'Cause
Anything.
now I'm hungry.
Either one.
Or both.
Or what? Or both?
Or both.
Did you ever
What's your
take
favorite
brisket
thing
with
to
you?
smoke on the fire while camping?
There you go.
There's all
Okay.
ways to integrate.
So with meat getting hauled in on a camping trip or whatever, you might be limited for weight. What is your maybe a go-to staple that you make sure you take in with you on a hike or a camping weekend or a week or whatnot? What would you take and why?
With weight being an issue?
Yeah. Like,
Well,
you want to take a few pounds of something if weight's no issue, but if it is, what do you limit it to?
The last time that I went, which was not very long ago, I think it was 2 pounds of jerky I had.
Oh heck yeah.
I think I had that.
Priorities.
Yeah. So I
Yep.
took 2 pounds of beef jerky, man, and it took.
We
I-
need to hike together more.
Yeah. But I mean, brisket is not out of the question. I mean, you can get them.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome. But I don't know.
I'll carry it.
If you're doing jerky, what's your flavor of choice?
Oh, I like the hot.
Mm.
The got to have the hot pepper flakes.
Yes.
Oh heck yeah.
I like it really spicy.
All you're making me is hungry now. This is
I
not.
know.
Yeah. Oh, good answer. Yeah.
Good deal, Troy. Well, hey, buddy, I'm going to kick you out of here. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna talk to Corey for a second. I appreciate you stopping in. Always appreciate
All
your
right.
support, man.
Hey,
Troy,
see
we'll see you
you
soon.
Friday.
I'll see you Friday, buddy.
See
All
you
right.
Friday. Later.
Later, buddy. Okay, Corey, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. I sure didn't mean to bump Troy out of there.
Oh no, he got his questions in.
He's a far better guest.
We're actually we're gonna pull a little trickarooski here on you. We're gonna do two guests. How about
Hey,
that?
there you go.
We got
Hey,
Jason
I like
and Corey. Jason,
I
how's
like
it going,
that.
buddy?
Oh, hey,
This is the
What's
best part of
going
the
on?
show right
I'm
here.
just gonna do that from now on and bring random people when they're not expecting it.
That's not bad.
oh,
Okay,
man.
so I'm gonna ask Corey. We're gonna ask them both some questions because we only got about 10 minutes left. So I thought we'd knock a few things out here. So Corey, I'm gonna ask you my question first. Where was the last place you pitched your tent or hung your hammock? And how long ago was it? And which one was it?
Oh crud.
I know
It
where.
would have been just after HangCon on the way coming back. We've got some property in the northern panhandle or whatever of Florida. Well, no. So that's the last place I pitched it outdoors. Indoors was, a week and a half ago up at UGQ with Chad. So that's the most recent one as far as an indoor hang. Outdoor hang was after HangCon.
Very cool. I'm assuming that was a
Yeah, I
hammock,
see
right?
Chad going, no, you didn't. Oh yeah. I
I'm like,
forget.
your hammock was hanging in my shop for a week, so I remember that.
It was. I know.
All right, we're gonna go right back to Devin. Devin, you can ask your question, buddy.
Corey, what do you use to hang your hammock or your tarp? Or like, are you using specific gear or just like ropes out to some stakes? Like, what is it that you've got for your setup there?
As far as tying out to the ground or up to the trees?
Exactly. To the ground.
To the ground. Yeah, it's a really simple stake setup. Small little bungee loops on the bottom with some just like some Zing It line or whatnot. So I got a little flex to it, and I don't remember what the little gear is called specifically. It's little small piece of gear that'll basically hold tension when I pull tight.
Is that like the ticks are using like Dutch wear stuff, or
no? On that part, I'm not using Dutch wear. It's a little plastic gear.
It's similar to a line lock, but it's a little bit different design.
Okay.
Yeah. It is called a slide lock hook, something like that. Slide lock, maybe. Yeah.
I have a question. Is it a component that you thread while you're out there, or is it already kind of locked in the line? You just adjust it?
It's all ready to go. It's all ready to go. So all I got to do is pull tension, and it's basically pull some tension against the shot cord down to the stake, and we're good. It holds it real easy.
Good deal. Tim, I'll let you ask your question next, buddy.
I'll ask you both a question, I guess. What is, when you're done with a hike, what's your go-to fast food?
That's easy.
A good question.
I'll get right now. It's In and Out. In and Out.
We don't have those here.
Yeah, we don't have those here.
Yeah.
I want to try it.
Don't come to Alberta then. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In and Out, double animal style fries. Doesn't get any better than that.
Nice. I'm a burger guy too. Corey?
If I could find it, it'd be like a Long John Silver's just to fatten up with a lot of grease.
No, I want Long John Silver's.
So good. I do it like every 5 years, honestly, is all that ever happens. But
oh no.
Yeah.
Hush puppies, man. Hush puppies.
Oh yeah. That combo platter with some of everything, I'm in.
Yeah.
I feel sick afterwards, but I feel good during it.
That's a hell of an answer, man.
Chad, you're up, buddy.
Well, you feel sick or depressed? I can't.
Well, I always feel depressed. It's just the physical sickness at that point.
Okay. So my question for Corey is, how did you get so good looking? And secondly,
this must be fuzzy on your end. I don't know.
It's the hair. You got me.
It's his rose-colored glasses.
That's what it is.
That's definitely it.
He looks like a bit like a villain, like a movie villain tonight.
He does. It's kind of freaky. Where are you at?
Make it stop.
I'm in my basement actually.
Are you? So am I.
Real quick.
I
don't have any questions for Corey. I feel like after spending a week with him,
you're done.
I learned everything I needed to know.
That's it.
Yeah,
It was too much.
Go back to Jason. He's a way better guest then, right?
Okay, Jason. Is your last name Huck?
Yes. Huckabee, actually. Everybody calls me Huck.
Huck. Got it. What was the last question I asked the last person? Because I literally don't remember.
You can make up a new one if you want.
Let's do this. Because you're actually a good candidate for this. Hammock or tent? What's your go-to? And then I want to know which one that you're currently using.
Okay, so it is tents. As much as Corey hates to hear that, but I did look at the website after last week, so got me intrigued. But tent go-to is a Lunar Solo, 6-man designs.
Nice.
I go back and forth through some other tents of theirs, and that just, it's ease of setup, tons of room in there, and just, it's a great bomb-proof shelter.
That's one company that I think is definitely underrated. They've got a lot of good stuff, and I think they just don't get enough publicity for what they're doing.
No.
They should get on the Backpackers Blitz live stream.
Absolutely.
Talk about it.
Which one is that?
Like 30 new people are going to hear all about it. I still can't believe Joe actually showed up and got on this stupid little show. This is
pretty dang cool.
That's awesome.
I've got curlers in my hair. Thanks, Ben.
The whole time I kept
curlers
thinking,
in your hair. Yes,
oh my
big
God.
time.
It's like, who the frick is this guy?
I told Joe, I prefaced it. I'm like, dude, there's like 6 people that watch this live stream, so don't expect any publicity to come out of it. But it'd really mean a lot to me if you would come on. And he was like,
cool.
Dude, he's always like that. He's always down. So
Yeah,
he's a
but
good
you could just
Such
see
a
Devin's
nice,
like
humble guy.
you could just watch
Die
Devin.
inside a little bit, yes.
So I specifically told Joe that this was going to be a surprise for Devin. That's how I convinced him, because he's like, yeah, I know who he is. He's always commenting on my stuff and really stalking me and is acting all weird. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's literally happening to all of us.
true.
And now he's on our live stream somehow. I don't know how this has all happened, but no. He honestly he was thrilled to be able to do it and to surprise you.
Cool.
So that was kind of what
Was
it was
that actually part of it? What was to surprise me?
Yeah,
that was the main reason.
I love you guys.
If you ever had to put a face onto someone who you could watch them just like regret their life choices, that would be the face of that.
That was
when we got into the back end before this started. All I was thinking was, this is going to be the greatest moment I've ever put together. Watching him and his curlers, and he has no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah,
I almost slipped up and asked you a question about Joe during the pre-roll thing. And I'm so glad I didn't screw that up. But
I was talking to Chad about him the other day.
That's awesome.
Because you made his dog a quilt and stuff. I was asking you questions about that. So
very cool. Okay, if we
Anyways,
get too
back to
far
you,
along.
Jason.
Sorry, Jason.
Yeah, Jason, I'm going to ask you my question now. Since I know the other guys, some of you guys already asked the question, but I'm going to ask Jason this. So where was the last place you pitched your tent or hung your hammock? And that's not a sexual question. Where did you go?
Who interpreted it that way?
No, Corey looked confused when I asked him. So not.
When was the last time you erected a tent? Is what Ben is trying to ask.
Oh my God.
Well, oh man. PCT, right above Scissors Crossing. Had a great view of the whole valley floor down there. Dreading decisions after we looked at, we got to drop like 3,000 feet. Like,
how long ago was that?
That was three weekends ago now.
Oh, so pretty recent. Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So any other questions for Jason or Corey? I'm not sure if anybody.
I didn't ask Jason yet, so I would just like to go. So first of all, I want to stop for a second, just say that all the hammock innuendos get funnier when you know that Dutchware makes a banana hammock, and it's shaped like the pattern is a giant banana, and I bought one for my friend. So anyways, awesome. Jason, you always come in here with like amazing pictures as your background. What is your favorite place to take pictures of? Because I'm assuming you've taken all of the pictures that you have as your background. What has been your favorite place to photograph?
Ooh, that's tough. Because locally, I've got Joshua Tree National Park within like an hour's drive. So locally, it's there. But probably somewhere up in the Eastern Sierra. Maybe either Little Lakes Valley or Ray Lakes Loop. One of those two. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You have to check out Jason's Instagram because he takes incredible pictures. Like the one behind him.
After last week, I was watching and looking at plenty of them. Good, good work, man. That's
you're in a good area for it, man. Like that's sweet. And you do a great job capturing it.
Oh, thank you. Like this one behind me is Hetch Hetchy Reservoir out in Yosemite.
Nice.
So
pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, if the water wasn't there, they didn't put in the dam, that would look just like Yosemite Valley.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah, big backs around. Ever get a chance to check out Hetch Hetchy Reservoir and what John Muir and who's the other one up there that tried to save it, but San Francisco dammed it up, took all the water, and that water still going to San Francisco. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're almost at an hour here. Any questions for either one of these gentlemen here?
Oh, stop acting like the hour matters. We went like 3 hours last week.
It doesn't.
3 hours.
But I lost a lot of sleep that night and have not recovered yet at my age. It's a lot.
Yeah, me too.
It's early here. It's only 7 p.m. here.
Well, here's what we'll do. We'll go a little longer. I'm going to look through my questions here. Okay. I'm going to go to AI over here. Let's see.
Out the window.
Corey, what are you working on right now, bud?
Building a hammock, believe it or not.
I was going to guess that, but I didn't want to assume.
No shit.
Nah.
I was guessing a tent. That would have been my guess.
Check that out. That's the color combo.
I like it.
That's your mid.
I've seen better.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got
I
a question. I got a question for each one of you knuckleheads. Okay, we're gonna go around the horn here. So I'm gonna go with Chad first. I'm gonna ask everybody if you could have dinner with any 3 backpackers, living or dead. I don't know
gosh.
who would they be and why? You can pick 1 or 3. Doesn't matter. Just pick anybody.
Already done it. Already done it. Been there,
Okay.
done that. Check.
Let me clarify. You have not ever done a trip with them. That's got to be someone else you have not done a trip with yet.
Oh,
It could be
somebody I
Devin.
don't. I've done it with all the people that I wanted to. So this is going to be tricky. You know
Thanks,
what?
Chad.
I'm gonna say Jason. Right here.
Good
I want to have dinner with him for sure.
Not a backpacking trip, just dinner.
Just dinner.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, just dinner. Do you know who you're asking? I don't backpack. Okay, we've been over this. We're just gonna go set up in the woods somewhere and have dinner.
There you go.
And Devin, I definitely want to hang out with Devin.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
hey bud.
No, not you, different Devin. And then it was definitely you.
Devin
Although, are you a
Ashley's pretty cool.
backpacker? I don't even know if you're considered a backpacker or not. Are you?
Ooh. I would hope so. I go backpacking, so
That doesn't count. You have
I
to
would
have a YouTube
consider it.
You have to have a YouTube channel that says that
That's
you're a
true.
backpacker.
I mean,
the
I
only
do
way.
actually. It's Salmon Outdoors at YouTube. There's like one
Oh.
video on there, so I mean, it's got to count for something.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Chad.
You're in the
I
club.
like it right now.
And then the last person I'm going to say is actually Tim, for real. I'm not even joking.
Were you joking when you said
Tim was a
me?
good time.
Yes.
Understandable. Hurtful, but understandable.
Oh God!
If you
All
wear
right,
the
Tim. I'm gonna
curlers, if you wear the curlers
Hey,
out on a
Brad.
trip with me, dude, it's done. Game over.
And now he takes him out. Okay, Tim, I'm going to
Yeah,
ask you the
sorry.
same question. Tim, if you could have dinner. Oh, I did say dinner, didn't I? I meant to say dinner.
I'm pretty sure you did.
You did say dinner.
We're doing
Screwed up my
dinner
own
now.
question. I'm busting your balls when it was me that made the mistake. If you could have dinner or a backpacking trip with 3 backpackers living or dead, who would they be and why? Jesus.
Backpacking.
I'd
Yeah.
probably go with one of the people from Lord of the Rings with the big feet. They seem agile, like mountainous terrain.
Where did that come from?
They backpacked, did they not?
Frodo.
And then I guess, maybe Jesus and a couple of the disciples, they were known for
They were the first
pilgrimages and
ultralighters.
such.
Oh,
You
man.
take me seriously.
And then my third answer would be, all 5 of you guys on screen, of course.
Good
No,
answer.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
Man, that's a tough question. You watch people, you get to know them. I'd have a long list. I suppose Shug would be one of them.
Oh yeah, that's
But
good
and in
one.
all genuine, the more I talk to you guys on screen, aside from Ben, I've never met you face to face, and it sounds like it'd probably be a pretty good time. Can you just imagine? We should have like a reunion once a year somewhere where everybody that's on the show meets up. It'd be insanity.
That would be fun.
That was it's gonna be tough to beat that answer. Devin, same thing. If you could have dinner or go backpacking with 3 backpackers living or dead, who would they be and why?
Well, we got to go with Joe because I mean, you guys had to out me on that one.
Okay, question: would you wear the curlers again?
You know what?
Recognize
If
you?
that meant that I could go backpacking with Joe, I'd do it.
I will
Joe,
set
if you're
that up.
still watching, which you're not, I mean, come out to Alberta. We'll see some
He ain't
one
I know.
watching.
We're gonna set that
I
up.
know
We're
he's
gonna
not.
set that up here in Michigan because I'm gonna be a part of that whole thing.
I'll do it. We'll throw Milos in there as well. Milos seems like
Yeah.
There you go.
fun and interesting guy. Who else we got to throw under the bus? You took Shug. That was a good one. That was I'll take Tim with us. Tim can come too.
Thanks,
Good
man.
answer. Good answer.
I'm
Okay,
sad you're not
Corey.
in the Dakotas anymore because you would have been a lot closer to me.
Right. Well, I may
Hey,
be back
speaking of-
someday. I have no idea what my future is ever. So
One day, whenever Chad makes me rich, we'll fly me and Tim up there to come see you. How about that?
Sounds
I'll
good.
send the helicopter.
All right.
I'll send the chopper.
All right.
You
All
look
right,
like you
so-
fly one.
Yeah. Just not well. All right, Corey.
True story.
Sorry.
We love you, Chad. We love you.
We do. We do. Chad's been awesome. Okay, anyway,
I can
Corey,
handle it.
if you could have dinner with any dinner or a backpacking trip with 3
Dinner. I'll do
backpackers,
dinner.
living or
Dinner's a
dead,
different question.
dinner or backpacking. I gotta love AI.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Your 3 pick.
So my initial pick was, you guys just mentioned, obviously I've done a couple little trips and events with Shug, and that he's a number one for a lot of people. Like he was so fantastic to be able to do a one-on-one kind of hang with. In addition to that, I would like to hang with Spaguyver, Mark Orton a little bit more. Not you, Chad, not you. I met him a year ago at HangCon. We got to chat a bit and hang a bit there, but I think I'd like to do a trip with him. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Ooh, I'll get him on next week. He's a good.
That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. He's just such a down to earth guy. Like we click right away, and I just like him a lot. I would do more time with him in the woods. That's pretty sweet. And then a guy I met up at the Michiligan hang last year was Miyagi. Miyagi. Yeah. I would go hang and do a trip with him somewhere. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I think everybody should do that with Miyagi.
Yeah, Miyagi's awesome.
Yeah, we need Miyagi on the show. We'll have to harass him.
Next week.
He sounds like
everybody's going to be next week.
So those would be my 3. Shug I've done, and the other 2 I would like to do some trips with. Absolutely.
Very cool. Yeah, Miyagi, if you guys watch some of his videos he's made in the past, the amount of effort he put into some of those videos mind-boggling. Crazy. And he has a full-time job and a wife, and like, how the heck was he doing that? And of course, it wasn't sustainable, but it was incredible the amount of production he put behind his video. Yeah, made us all feel silly about making our own stupid videos.
He's doing like water rescue stuff now. He's getting into all kinds of crazy good stuff.
Very cool. All right, Jason. So, if you could have dinner, and if I could finish this sentence without screwing up, dinner for a backpacking trip.
Who would you do In-N-Out Burger with?
Yeah, just pick 3 people. You know the drill. Just pick 3.
As much fun as it would be with you 3 up on top, than Chad and Tim, or having
Devin. Just so we're clarifying,
I had to pick 3. I had to pick 3, so I picked the 3 on top.
Yeah, 3. There's too many people on that list. I get it.
You're such a sticker for rules. I get it.
Or it'd be a lot of fun to have a dinner, but with Dan Durston and Henry Shires and hearing them back and forth or something. But the one I think would be the most fun is Joey Coconato. I've been trying to get out on a trip with him for a long time.
Who's that?
My Own Frontier on YouTube. He's one of the OG backpackers on YouTube. He had to redo his channel. He took it down at one point, brought it back. But his trip videos are amazing. He's out there going to like Yosemite, North Cascades, Beartooth or Sawtooth Wilderness up there. But he's out there in grizzly country doing like 6, 7, 8 days. And you hear him talk, he's like the Bob Ross of backpacking. Like a real soft-spoken dude, like, oh, look at those friendly little bears down there in the valley, and we'll go say hi. But Joey Coconato is one of probably the coolest dudes you'd ever watch on YouTube. Get a chance, check him out. My Own Frontier.
What's the name of his channel?
My Own Frontier.
Backpacking with Jason. That's a good one too.
Yes.
There's so many good picks. That's not fair. I don't like this question.
Okay, is that okay? I'll pick mine. So I'll have dinner with Chad, but I'll do a backpacking trip with the rest of you. How about that? And we'll make fun of Chad.
There we go. Well, who are we gonna make fun of while we're out to dinner?
The rest of us.
Tim for sure. Let's make fun of Tim. Good time. Well, do you guys have a question? So we'll wrap up here soon. But do you guys want to throw a question out there for all of us to answer real quick?
Ooh.
Who are you asking? The audience or literally us?
No, just you guys. Yep.
Ben, did you have what's the situation with the giveaway and everything?
Oh my God.
Good question.
Is he trying to stay on track here?
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, as fun as it is, we got to do the giveaway, I think.
Completely forgot about that. I don't even. Oh man, I don't have it on my screen. I don't even know how to pull it back up again. We're gonna regroup on that. I'll draw some winners. I'll email them for this one, and we'll regroup for next week. I completely screwed that part of the show up. I knew I messed something up.
Sorry to point that out, Ben. I just didn't want the people to think we forgot about them.
We did.
Nobody
forget
slept
about
with
We did though.
But we did.
Yeah, we can't
We
say
totally
we.
did.
Mostly Devin. I forgot. Yeah. So it
I'm
was
sorry, it's my bad.
It was the
I was
curlers.
distracting with my coolest
Curlers are
curlers.
too
And,
tight.
yep.
We're just having too much fun. But yeah, I think the
Then-
excitement of Joe and the curlers would just throw me off, man. I just
Yeah,
don't
his cheeks were so red that it literally just completely made me forget everything that I was doing.
Oh my god, this is too much fun. All right, guys. Any last questions before we wrap this thing up? I will regroup with the giveaway thing, and we'll get that all straightened out for next week. But
So
I got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Question for all you guys.
Good.
What's your drink of choice in the backcountry?
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Your
if you drink. If you don't drink, it's okay. But drink of
mine,
choice.
go
mine's
first.
urine.
I'll go first. I'll go.
I watched a lot of Bear Grylls growing up, so
I was gonna say.
I don't feel like you're actually doing it right unless you go out and drink your own urine at least once. And surprisingly, when you do it, it's not as bad as you would think. It really depends on what you ate and drank before you drink.
I heard it affects your eyes and you have to wear sunglasses inside. I just Googled
it. I think urine is a solid choice, Chad. It's my third top choice, I would say.
Oh my god.
That
That your
or
breath smells like asparagus.
if you take the inside of a camel's stomach and you wring it out, there's a lot of really good nutrients in that. So also on Bear Grylls.
Oh,
nice.
Man, I'm gonna stick with just water, man.
I've changed my answer earlier. I'm gonna do a backpacking trip with Chad. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh my god.
And then I'll take the rest of you guys out to dinner to tell you all about it.
there you go.
You can show us pictures. There'll be a slideshow.
What are you doing over there, Chad? I'm drinking my urine. What does it look like?
Don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact.
Oh man,
it's fine.
Oh my god. Jesus. Oh. Did we have a question? I already forgot what it was. What was the
What
question?
do you drink?
I gotta go with scotch.
Scotch.
Scotch is
I
always.
thought it was gonna be maple syrup for you.
Oh yeah, well we make maple bourbon. Old fashions.
Ooh.
Actually, so I do have an answer. This isn't for backpacking, but whenever we go car camping, if it's a little bit cool out, we'll take apple cider and we'll put it in a pot. We'll warm it up, and then we'll add Fireball whiskey to it, and it's really good. It warms your soul.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Corey's on board with that.
It's really good.
I like.
You can even add a little bit of like butterscotch liqueur in there, and it makes it taste like a candy apple.
You guys see what Jim just posted here?
Jim, that was the perfect time.
Yeah. Just walk away, Jim. Walk away right now.
Yep.
Run away.
Don't look back at what has already taken place.
We need 2 holes on to answer this question.
2 holes.
There you go. There you go.
I've thought about that. Oh shoot, Tim, what do you drink on the trail? But I'm not, Chad already took the obvious answer. But...
Yeah, well, I actually usually bring Monster, and then a bottle of hot dog water for electrolytes.
There we go.
That's actually I've heard that actually.
And then like I said, third would be urine, Chad. Yeah.
For me, I mean, urine's definitely on the top 10 list, but water, Fireball in a flask is something I usually take. I don't drink a lot anymore. I drank in my 20s and 30s, so I try not to get too crazy with that, but I have been known to take some Fireball just to kind of spice things up just a little bit when I'm out there, but I don't usually get too crazy. But Corey, did you answer the question already, Corey?
I said just water after hearing the urine. Give me some water, filtered water.
Oh my god!
Yeah, if I got to that point, then you're in trouble.
This is why I didn't pick any of these.
Chad's giving his disappointed father look at the moment.
He is an old man.
I really want to know how many people caught that pun, because
I caught
it. Was such gold that I literally was just taken back by it. I couldn't even process fast enough.
You're insane, Chad. Everybody heard that.
You're just trying too hard, okay? It's already been done.
That's why I'm taking Tim on my trip.
Those are
Oh my god! Any other questions, guys, for the group? Anything else you guys want to throw out there real quick? I'm
I'm gonna come up with something good for you, Ben, next week on something that you. I don't know. I won't give it away yet, but I'll come up with something good for you.
We should answer Brian's question.
Most interesting place you pooped. We'll do that real quick. Thanks, Brian.
It's a good one.
Does the
Jason, you
pants
go first.
count? Your pants count?
Oh.
I did not do that.
Walmart.
5 minutes ago in my chair. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have that.
Too long. You went too long.
Go ahead, Jason.
Oh, it's got to be in the ocean. Lost Coast Trail. They make you so Lost Coast Trail. You actually have to poop below the high water mark. So
wait a minute.
That actually sounds quite therapeutic, honestly.
Yeah.
A nice salt scrub to,
Yeah. The only problem is if you're looking up the coast, you've got like 2 miles that way. You can see people coming. You got look that way 2 miles coming. And when our last night at camp, we were doing Lost Coast Trail. I've got like a prairie dog coming out. It's ready to go. And there's this girl that just keeps wanting to talk. I'm like, excuse me, I have to go poop. It's like the most awkward conversation I have to have with this cute girl there. It's like, nope. Sorry, I gotta go poop. Bye. Yeah, ocean.
That's classic.
All right, Devin, you're up. Where's the most interesting place you pooped?
The Adirondacks. Nice, beautiful view over like an open valley. Not
Did
in
you
my
take
pants.
pictures
Thankfully.
of the view?
I should have.
You
I
should
should
have.
have. Yeah,
That'd make the best Instagram.
I should have. Yeah.
Live stream it next time, actually.
All right, Tim, you're up.
5-gallon bucket in my dorm room.
Jesus.
Who hasn't, right? Who hasn't done that?
In Tim's dorm room.
Matter of fact, I have
specifically in
mine.
Tim's.
Mine's right here, actually. I don't.
Mine's right here, actually. You know,
Chad?
bag
Or the
it too, right,
sump
Chad?
If you have a sump crock, that actually just sucks the poop right outside. So it's even better than your septic.
All right, Chad, where's the most interesting place you pooped? I guess like McDonald's.
So when I was, what'd you say?
McDonald's.
Actually, I don't like their toilets scare me. They flush so hard, and it's like, especially the automatic ones. When you get up and they're like so fast and they spray you all over. No, see that I'm not down with that.
Oh my god!
I will say though, when I can't remember, I must have been in high school. We were doing like this 24-hour. We were in this 24-hour Meijer challenge where we were trying to stay in our local Meijer, which is, for those of you that don't know, is basically like Walmart. And we were trying to stay overnight, and I got dared to go into the men's bathroom and poop in the urinal. So that's actually what happened, and nobody believed me. So they went in afterwards and saw what looked like a poop emoji kind of just spiraled right up there in the old urinal. So not one of my proudest moments, but honestly, I don't regret it in this exact moment. Just for the sake of the story.
It makes for good content.
I'm certain that there's a lot of people that are going to have different views and opinions of me after this, but
mine's already pretty low.
Okay with
it. No, yeah, it's about the same.
You're safe. You're in good company.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. Well, then we're good.
I don't have any good poop stories. I usually backpack by myself. There's usually nobody around, and I go during the week when there's no hikers out. So I don't have anything. I don't have any good stories with the poop stuff. I've been on the backpacking podcast.
Not too late. It's not too late.
How much time we got for this show? Give me a minute. Any other questions in the group here? Let's see. No, there's another question. So
we have to thank Brian Winburn there for that great question.
Good job, Brian.
It's a hiker specialty.
So next week, Brian has to jump in and tell us his most interesting.
There you go.
Yeah, Brian.
About that.
Oh,
There you go,
hey,
Brian.
listen. Speaking of this comment that I just put on the screen right here, the poop hammock was actually developed by my sewer.
Oh, yeah.
Tim Baker.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
the
that's
creator
cool.
of the poop hammock. I have not used it yet. The one that he gave me, I think, was used. So I've not.
Jeremiah got to it first. Then
I've not taken that out yet. But it's literally a hammock seat basically with a hole about 12 inches wide.
I have a follow-up question.
Right inside it. So what's the
I do want to know, like, what made you assume it was used? Walk me through it.
Yeah, how would you know unless you really know?
Let's just
walk
say
me through the process. How you
I
made that
think
determination. Took an
I think
educated
that
guess.
Two Holes used it before I got it.
God, I'm crying. Oh,
I knew there was a 2 holes joke coming in here. That's my
I see
friend
a lot
Mikey on screen who likes to poop.
Week after week after week after week. I see this going on. Yeah.
Tom gave it to me, but he chose. It's so funny that he did this. That he chose a particular print that was very brown in tone, and I wasn't sure if it was intentional or not. That was like
trying to hide all the previous action. Yeah.
And so when I pulled it out of the bag for the first time, there was just like this odor that really kind of just like punched me right in the face. And so yeah, actually none of that story is true, but it makes for great content.
It makes for great content.
Great content.
Well, we'll cut that part out. Oh my God.
That's my friend Mike on screen, by the way, who is famous for mid-hike poops, as he states there, which is always a real fun time.
Like while you're hiking, like is it one of those things where you just kind of like have a certain walk that kind of just lets things
stanky?
Well, I think we all prefer to like do it at camp or around camp, and it just seems to be like an extra inconvenience when you have to do it right in the middle of a hike.
Or right at the beginning. That's happened too. Like I get on the trail, I'm like, oh no. Like I know there's traffic, but luckily no one's really around. But like you're only a mile in, you're like, that's a bad place to go.
And like we always say, that it's going to itch when it dries. You always have to stop for a follow-up wipe, so to speak.
Trail maintenance.
Trail maintenance.
Yeah.
Trail maintenance.
Yeah.
Have any of you ever tried using a diaper while hiking?
No.
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 Only you, Chad. Only you, buddy.
Okay, well.
I even thought about it.
Never mind. Forget that question.
I'm open-minded.
It's one of those things where
no trace.
Hold on, we gotta address this question. It says, is there a flow to this podcast? Just random. So we always start off and we meet ahead of time. We say, here's the structure of the show. We know it's gonna go to hell, but we have something to fall back on. That hasn't worked out so great. So anyway, to answer your question, there's supposed to be a flow, but there isn't.
The flow is in development. We're developing that flow naturally, organically.
We had good intentions. The first hour was great. It came off the rails about a half hour ago. Screwed the whole thing up.
There's
only one rule. There's none.
Yeah.
Here's a follow-up question for you guys. You guys can answer one at a time. So your first trip, maybe it's just me, but I definitely was a little bit, wasn't sure what the word is to use, apprehensive about like going to the bathroom in the woods for the first time. Like I did a solo trip. And I'm thinking, I've never pooped in the woods before. I do not want to crap on myself. Seriously, how much research did you do? How many times did you practice squatting in your house? Like that first trip, did you even think about like, I'm good, I'll figure it out? Walk me through the process. Tim, you go.
You practiced at home? I don't
know. I'm asking you what you guys did. I
never would have considered that.
You go in the backyard behind a tree and hold on.
How much research and practice did you put into it?
Man.
Well, I did not practice at home, part A. But this is a honest to God true story. I would when I did it, I would gag at the sight, at the smell of my own. It became a running joke, and I got over that. I've gotten over that, but I would dry heave just at the. I don't know. It's different when it's not underwater, That's all I.
You
that's all I have to
100%
say.
need to film the aftermath of that happening.
Oh my God.
I need to see that.
I don't gag anymore. I'm better at it.
Okay, Devin, your first trip, did you even think about it or even worried about it? Were you
No.
just like,
No. I mean, I've been camping my entire life, and I've been pooping for my whole life too. So it just kind of came naturally, I guess. I didn't really need to think.
Have you ever crapped on yourself?
No, I have yet to do that, thankfully.
Have you ever crapped on anyone else?
No, we don't talk about that.
That's personal.
I said that was the story I didn't want to go through.
I know, so we'll keep the sexual stuff out of it. Okay, Corey, you're next.
Not where I was going with that.
I have never practiced, and it just seems like you figure it out when you're there, wherever you go. That's where I'm leaving it.
Yeah, I was the same way. I'm good. It was the same thing for me.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, Chad, have you even pooped in the woods, Chad?
It actually comes very naturally. It comes very naturally for me. I actually have been doing it like Devin for a long time. Being an avid hunter, you often have to, let's just say, drop logs from a tree stand, if you catch my drift.
Come back sockless occasionally. Yeah.
100% sockless, underwearless. There's a lot of things that can go wrong when trying to shat, if you will, from a tree stand. But once you master the art of dropping it from about 20 feet, the 2 to 3 foot distance really becomes just, it's like when you shoot an arrow at 100 yards and then you start shooting it at 20 yards. It's like you can almost do it with your eyes closed. That's how I feel about pooping in the woods. I actually don't open my eyes when I'm doing it. Specifically, again, for the content, it makes for a better shot. So
it's like archery. It's therapeutic, really. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. No, I truly enjoy a good squat in the woods, and I actually look forward to that the most when I go out into the woods, because it's not something that you get to experience. Most people don't get to experience that in life. So,
okay, somebody's calling you guys a liar. Somebody had to have pooped on yourself.
No.
I think the closest that you come is when it's a little, let's just say, more wet than you expect, and it may drip a little farther down yonder than you expected, and that's kind of the whole sock reference between either that happening or needing to use the sock. So either way, the foot's involved, I guess.
When leaves won't do the job, Yeah.
If your foot's not involved, you're doing something wrong.
Oh my God! I don't know if we can
degraded so quickly.
Oh my goodness!
Any other questions? Rails.
Yeah, we're way off track. I think early on we all said we're not going to talk about poop. We're not going to be that kind of show.
Too late.
Well, we got desperate, guys. We had 50 people last week. We only had 30 this time, so we got desperate. Pulled out the poop talk. Any other questions, guys? Before we wrap this thing up.
I doubt it, because we're. I feel like if we go any longer, it will derail significantly farther, and I'm just not sure that the internet's ready for that.
It's not going to get better. Let's just be honest. It's not going to get better.
We'll save that for the Patreon.
Yeah. People will stop coming on because they'll be super worried that it's going to take an hour and a half. And friendship and loyalty. They'll be like, not doing that this week.
So let's do this real quick. Somebody has their sound on. Anyway, we're going to start with Jason. We're going to go around real quick. Everybody's going to say where they can find you at. I know Jason has a YouTube channel, but Jason, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you.
Huck Outdoors on YouTube, Instagram. HuckOutdoors.com has some of my photography. Don't go to HuckOutdoors.net.
My brain immediately goes to porn. I don't know why it does that. Don't go to that website. That's not it. Corey, where can they find you, buddy?
The website's majestichammock.com. Email is majestichammock at gmail.com, and on Instagram at majestichammock.
Good deal. Mr. Salmon Outdoors.
You can find me in my home, but please don't. You could also find me on Instagram at Salmon Outdoors. I checked huckoutdoors.net, and you don't want it. No, I'm just kidding. It was a clothing brand. But anyways, that's about it.
Mr. Tim Buckley.
Well, like Huck, our names rhyme with something that must be making Ben trigger. But you can find me at Backpacking with Buckley, Instagram, YouTube, all the social medias.
The internet.
I'm such a child. Oh my God.
On to you, Chad.
What?
You
What are
don't
we
want to
doing?
find Chad. That's it. You just don't.
Oh,
don't
if
go
you find
looking
me
for
on the
him.
internet, you definitely went somewhere wrong. Yeah, that's about all I'm going to say about that.
UGQ.
Scan that QR code and you'll find me right there.
They make sleeping bags, right?
We don't actually make sleeping bags.
I know you make.
What?
Quotes. I was just trying to get it out
Actually,
of you.
we do make sleeping bags. And then we just no, we don't make sleep. Well, we kind of do. No. Check out the website, then you'll find out.
Thanks for filling in the extra 30 seconds there, Chad. Appreciate it. It's now 10:30. Guys,
Now
thanks
we're
for
over an hour
watching.
and a half.
Yeah. Thanks for watching the Backpackers Blitz. We'll do it again next week, and I promise we'll do the giveaway thing correctly, and we'll figure all that out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We will talk to you guys all next time. Bye-bye.
Night.